Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this FS25 tutorial video. In this video I'll show you how to grow poplars. Poplars are by far the most lucrative crop type in FS25, and it's a crop type that is more or less forgotten. And I figured out you can earn a really lot of money with it, nearly 10 times as much as if you would grow wheat without collecting the straw. Not exactly 10 times, but nearly. On the same field. Here we have the poplar in its harvest ready stage. And maybe you think, I thought poplar was a tree. Yes, that's true. And this is the same poplar, but they are young. So poplar grow very fast. And with this method, they take the young poplars. And as you can see, without leaves already, if you would let them grow, you would get a lot of very thin trees. And because they stand very narrow together, much narrower than if they would become real trees. But it's the same plant. And when you have ever seen a poplar tree, a big one, and at the side you can see those bush-like branches, and they always grow out during the summer, and sometimes they are cut, that it doesn't become too bushy, but it looks a little bit like that. And this on the field is a special method to grow energy plants. And here we have the poplar in a younger stage. This is one step before harvest ready. And the growing time is 13 months, and it has 4 different visual stages. So when this reaches this stage, it stays 4 months looking the same, and then it goes to this. And then we have a medium-sized also, and the younglings we will see when we plant them. Okay, but before we plant them, we'll have a look at the equipment that we need for the poplars. It's not too bad, so not as expensive than with peas or so. And yeah, here we have the special planting machine. This is a tree planter, and it's also used for real trees. But here we have the poplar saplings, and they are not really expensive, so it's affordable to plant it. And the best thing is you plant it once, and then it grows back and back and back, and you can harvest every 13 months. And if you have plowing off, you can do this forever. And if you have plowing active, you should plow after 3 harvest cycles, because if you don't do it, the yield would go down, and after plowing you have to replant it. But that is only if you have plowing active, which is the basic configuration if you play on normal or hard mode. So this is the planting. And then you do the fertilizing like normal. And here we have the expensive method with a forage harvester. And you need this special header. This is especially for poplars. And if you want to harvest alone, it's best if you take a trailer like that, here with a dolly, and you can attach it. And you need a long pipe, and then you can do it alone. Or the helper can do it. And the second method for harvesting is also possible for helpers with the same trailer, but you have a tractor here and it needs at least 375 horsepower to work with this fancy small forage harvester. Yeah, it's not like those really big machine, but it's a compressed machine that works with a tractor, but it does the same what a forage harvester does. And here we have the same header. And the third method is completely different, and it's beginner friendly because you only need a tractor with 200 horsepower, which is easier at the beginning if you don't have so much money. And then you have this special baler that is dedicated to cutting poplars and pressing them to round bales. You get rather normal looking round bales, and if you want to transport it, you could use this round bale wagon, or you could just put them on a cheaper trailer, but then you need to lift them with a front loader or such. Yeah, that's all you need for equipment. And maybe we have a look where you get all this stuff in the shop. We go to the shop here. And then tractor, I think you know where to get. And here is the trailer. I chose that one. And in this case, it's rather important that it has this dolly to attach to the forage harvester. And you can make narrow U-turns. And that is rather important. And I have the enlarged version. So the next thing is forage harvesting. Here, this is the special machine that works like a forage harvester but needs a tractor, and you can see 375 horsepower. And you could cut grass with it with a special header, or those poplars, or you can make chaff from corn. So you can use it like a normal forage harvester. And it's much cheaper, but you also need the header and the strong tractor. But if you have a strong tractor anyhow, this is a very good solution. If you, for example, if you only do the poplars every 13 months, then I think that is a better solution than buying the whole forage harvester. But if you like to do chaff from corn and you anyhow have a forage harvester, then that is the best. Here we have this FS25 Tana that I use, but you can take all the others as well. And then we have the headers, and we need this special New Holland header, the only one in the base game that is able to cut the poplars. And if you want to have the baling solution, it's further down at the round balers. And here, all the others are for grass and straw and so, and this is for poplars. You can see it from this tree symbol. And it's not really really cheap, but as you only need a 200 horsepower tractor, the whole solution is the cheapest. And this is only nearly $100,000. And the other one, this cheaper, is cheaper in itself, but you still need the header, and therefore it's more expensive, and you need the strong tractor. Okay, but I should show you this Anderson bale trailer, and the other choice would be something like that, and then you need a front loader too, or a forklift or so, something to lift the bales onto this trailer, and this Anderson trailer grabs the bales more or less automatically if you drive there. So this is about the machinery. Now we should plant the poplars. So we jump into this tractor, and if you want to do it yourself, you just activate the machine, and with B, and then with V you put it down. I don't do this now because it would start planting right here, which I don't want, and I deactivate it. And if you want to use the helper for it, it's a little bit different than usual, because usually you can rely on the automatic numbers and working with, and so this is not the case with this poplar. So I press H for a longer time, and the automatic working width would be 2.4 meters. I think that is too narrow for trees. Maybe if you want to have the trees really narrow together, and it is much too wide for the poplars. So you wouldn't get this yield per hectare, and they would have too much distance to each other. And now the setting is not easy to find out, I must admit. I tried it on a field where they had the lines diagonal, and then I found 1.4 meters was the best distance between the lines. And then I planted it on this straight line field, and 1.4 meters was too wide. So I set it on 1 meter now. And 1.2. And as the number of headlands didn't change, the width of the headland is narrower now. So we have to go and double the number of headlands. So let's go for 10. Come on, yeah. And we start with up and down, sure, because we want to have don't want to drive on our already planted little trees. So now it's okay. And I just press H. Now it should go to the center. And then plant the poplars. Yeah, and they are already nice little trees, already green from those sticks that are laying in the box. Fast advancement. Yeah, and I needed about 2 boxes for the field on the left side where we have the harvest ready now. So yeah, for a medium small field I would think 2 boxes is okay, and if the field is bigger you need more, and if the field is very small you need less. So, but as they are only $280, I think the price is decent enough. So here we can see the distance. I think the distance is good now. Okay, we jump out, and while it is planting I show you the numbers, because the numbers show the magic of this plant. So without the numbers you could only think, oh, it's a lot of work. So here we have it. And the yield per hectare is without fertilizing, and anything. So just the basic yield without any yield bonus. And you already get 84,600 liters per hectare as yield. And if you have all those yield bonuses fulfilled, you get the double amount. You get 160,000 liters, which is insane. It's a really insane amount of stuff. And the price is rather good. You get in hard mode $320 average. And this is the hard mode. And when I calculate this together, I get an income per hectare for 27,000 bucks in hard mode, in normal mode 48,000 bucks, and in easy mode 81,000 bucks. This is already an insane amount of money for 1 hectare field. But keep in mind, this is without fertilizing, and this is the average price. If you sell it to the best price, which is in January, and you fertilize and do all those stuff, then you get at least double the amount of money. And the growth time is 13 months, which is longer than a normal crop. You have to keep this in mind. So it's always 1 month later than the time before. And the nice thing is that it grows back. So now let's check on the menu, the price list. And it is here, and we search for the wood chips, because you are selling wood chips, no poplar. Here we have the wood chips, and right now it is March, and the price is around average. So we get 1,000 bucks. I have easy mode active. In hard mode it would be 350, which is around the average. And it goes down below the average, and it goes very high up above the average. So the fluctuation from these wood chips is bigger than with other crops. In other crops, you don't have as many fluctuations. And therefore, it's really worth it to wait when you have the harvest time in July and you wait half a year, you get 3 times as much money. And now it would be a bit more than 1.5 times the money, because we already get 1,000 bucks. So, and on Riverbend Springs we have quite a lot of selling stations for this. So one of them is rather close to the farm. It's the grain barge terminal. Let's take this, and we can look on the map. And here is our farm. And down there over the river, this is this selling station. And so you don't have to drive a long time, which is useful. And we untick it, okay. And then I prepared 2 other things for you. Here you can buy your own selling station for wood chips. This is the tiny one, the small one. I couldn't bring my trailer to unload here. So I just show it to you. It exists, and for me it didn't work. But maybe it works for you. And this here is much more expensive, but you can sell other stuff as well, whole trees and straw and such. And this was easy. Let's have a look at the build menu where you find this. It's here at the factories and then behind at the selling points. And the biomass heating plant is this bigger building for 120,000 bucks. So in a way, when you buy this, then you already lose all your income from your first harvest. So yeah, if you have money and you are too lazy to drive the stuff somewhere else, you can buy this. And then you can sell a lot of stuff like straw and normal trees and the wood chips. And this small one here, yeah, takes straws as well, but no big trees. And it's much cheaper, but still 36,000. If you don't have the money, it's still a lot of, still a lot of money for something that might not work for you. But you could always check it on a testing safe game if it works with your vehicle. So now there is another thing I wanted to show you at the map. And because if you harvest such a lot of stuff and you have to wait until January, or you want to wait until January, where to store this stuff, it doesn't fit in the normal grain silo. And it will fit in all the modern multi-fruit silo, maybe my wooden multi-fruit silo that I want to bring to Motab as soon as possible. But as long as we don't have those multi-fruit silo, we can use a trick that was already there in FS17, but not everybody knows it. You could use the train silo for your own. And the train silo takes more fruit types than the grain silo at the farm. And here in Riverbend Springs, it's over there and just close to the dealership, and we could just go there. So here we are. There is the train, the railway, and here you have the unloading station. You just put it inside, then it's gone. You don't sell it in that moment. And if you want to sell it by train, then you could deliver it here to the train. This is a topic for a different tutorial. And if you want to get it back to sell it somewhere else, you just go here and you get it back. You can really use it as if it was your own silo. Okay, and it's huge. So now let's go back here. He is working quite nicely. And let's jump to the harvesters. In which one? We are in the baling one. But I rather start with the forage harvester, because I don't want the bales laying around while I'm using the other machines. That could be distracting. So here we have the forage harvester, and the pipe is out. The pipe needs to be out to throw all the stuff into this trailer. And if you play in with your friend, then you could cart beside, and then the pipe would adjust and find your trailer, or the trailer of your friend. So now we go in position like so. And it's really simple. You just have to turn it on. And then you have to lower it. And why doesn't it work? Maybe you know why. Because I have the trailer active. This is, the white is bright where I have this vehicle symbol. And so I should go to the header and then I could lower it. Okay, now it's working. If you try and it doesn't harvest, then it might be that this is not pushed down, lower to the ground. So now we just drive here. The working width is not so big. So if you do it by yourself, it will take a while. It will take longer than harvesting a cornfield with for chaff. But you earn much more money. And here you can already see the wood chips coming into the trailer. And as I already said, the helper can work with it. And for me, he left some places unharvested, but only a few, and you can easily do it yourself after the helper is done. Okay, that's one row. And I switch it off. Okay. And now we go to this Valtra. This is the perfect tractor for this job, I think. But you could take any other strong tractor. So now the same. And we have to activate it and then lower it. And here you need to lower both in two times. So now I had the header active and it did lower only the header. That is not enough. So we have to switch with the GK key. And now I have the trailer active, and now I have the this forage harvester thingy active, and I need to lower that, and only now it works. So now we do the same procedure as last time, and it works more or less the same. Yeah, and as you can see, the working width is really not very wide. It's a little bit similar to sugarcane harvest in this regards, but the price that you get is fantastic. And you could tell the helper even with this method. Okay. And now we use the third method. No, back here. So, okay. The baling method. It came with a DLC, I think, maybe in FS19. And I saw it, but I thought, oh, it's not so interesting. So now I activate it, and even this should go down. And then we can choose whether we want to have the automatic drop on or off. And it depends on your personal preferences, what you prefer. I just switch it on, but either way it could be annoying because you can't drive through. You have to stop even if it drops the bale automatically, because in the time when it's dropping it can't cut, and then it switches itself off when one bale is done. And here it's a little bit fancy because you drive through the high poplars and then pull this behind and make your bale. I thought it would drive at the side, but it doesn't. But it works like that. And even if the main help menu say activate AI helper, you can't bale this with the helper. If you activate the helper, it asks you where you want to drive to the dealership or so. And now it happened. It throws out the bale, and if you realize this too late, you have to go back and above the bale, which is a little bit annoying, but not too bad for the money that you get for the crop. So I have to activate it again and lower it again, and then I can start working on my second bale. And other than that, it is completely okay. It's rather similar to baling straw. Not much difference, or grass or so. Now it goes. Here we are, okay. And now switch it on again. This is different, that you need to switch it on after every bale. But you get used to it. Okay, so that's it, how you can harvest the poplar. And then you just drive there with your trailer, or you collect the bales and drive there with your bale trailer and sell them. Look, it looks like that. And you can imagine those little twigs, how they are cut and bent together in this bale. At least I can imagine it. Okay. So now you know how to grow the poplar. And to start with it, you only need to choose one of your fields or buy a new field and get this planting machine. You can just rent it. And then you only have to fertilize a little bit, wait 13 months, and then you're good to go and earn a lot of money. If you want to buy FS25 now, I would be happy if you use my Granny Tana order link for PCs. The link is in the video description below. This allows me to make the videos earlier. Now I wish you a wonderful day, thank you for watching, and all the best till next time. Tschüss!